there's now a new New York Times headline with more pardon news, which is the president has discussed with his advisors pardons for his 3 eldest children and Giuliani. My first reaction to that is poor Tiffany Trump, as always. But what? I guess you could pardon your 3 eldest children and your attorney. That would squarely sit within the ability, Kim?
Well, I mean, you use the example I mentioned on NPR, but yesterday, the example I might have used in addition to that is, sitting with a kiosk in front of the White House saying, give me money and I'll give you pardons. That would be some extraordinary example, off the charts example of how a pardon could be abused. And here we are. We're actually having that conversation with demonstrate that there has to be limits. And I should note, bribery, remember, we spent a lot of time talking about impeachment. Bribery is an express basis for impeachment, and you cannot use a pardon to excuse impeachment. So I think that itself shows that bribery, this kind of thing, was not in the minds of the framers. They really thought pardoning was about mercy and that it would be used judiciously. And pardoning your kids for unmentioned crimes arguably is problematic. Well,
that gets back to sort of an interesting part of the pardon history here, Jed, which is just, it's one thing if you say this person committed this crime, they either pleaded to it or they convicted by a jury of their peers, they expressed remorse and contrition, or even if you think, this was something that probably shouldn't have prosecuted the way it was, or this person was tried as adults when he shouldn't have been, whatever, right? The idea of a kind of prospective pardon, this sort of permanent federal get-out-of-jail-free card, which, prior to the judicial process working, something that we saw with Ford's pardon of Nixon, I think most famously, that seems to be what we're talking about in the case of this, right, with Giuliani and his 3 eldest children who, as far as we know, have not been convicted of a crime. Maybe they've committed a lot. And they don't want to face action. I don't know. It's weird. I wouldn't ask for a pardon. I don't think I deserve one because I don't think I've done anything criminal. But where does that come from? That concept that you can just kind of wave your magic pardon wand over.
Well, to be completely honest, it actually comes right from the federal convention. I mean, this is where I'm going to respectfully disagree with Kim. Because in Philadelphia in September of 1787, as they're wrapping up the Constitutional Convention, they have an extended debate about the pardon power. And there are a number of framers at the convention who are worried about co-conspirators and are worried about things like treason. And they expressly decide a few things. One, they still allow pardons for things like treason, for anything other than getting someone off the hook of impeachment. But they also deliberate on the question of co-conspirators, and they leave it open-ended. So I think I understand where Kim's coming from, and I have to agree with her that the courts have recognized or signaled that the pardon power isn't completely absolute. I agree with her that it is constrained or limited by other parts of the Constitution. Nevertheless, it is part of our history of mercy that the founders wanted a very broad pardon power, including this kind of scope.